going to kind of get on my soapbox right now, is that we have a bunch of dads in this country that aren't carrying the flag. They say they carry the flag, but they're not carrying the flag for their family. But I see it all the time. There's no discipline in the house. This is what our standard is. This is what we expect in our household. This is what we do. We need more of that. We need more of people just standing up and doing the right thing. There's standards. Doing it for your family, for your crew. You're born by yourself. How many days, nights do you have these conversations with yourself? You're by yourself. Like, when shit hits the fan, I mean, the only person, you have your family, you have your kids, but it's up to you. When you sit there and you think about it, you're like, damn, man, like, nobody's coming to save you. You have to make the decisions. You have to deal with it. Nobody's going to come. Nobody's going to have you hold your hand to go work out. You're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to go figure shit out. Even in business, as much as I want somebody to come help me, throw me a bone, everybody has their own agenda also, and I don't hold it against them. But it's like, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to help you. It's up to you.
This is Alone and Unafraid. This episode is brought to you by Polestar Coffee.
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us. What flavor is this?
Knock it off, Julie.
What?
I don't need you to tell me how fucking good my coffee is, okay? I'm the one who buys it. I know how good it is. When Bonnie goes shopping, she buys shit. I buy the gourmet expensive stuff because when I drink it, I want to taste it.
PolestarCoffee.com. Head over to PolestarCoffee.com, grab a bag, use offer code ALONE at checkout, and taste the difference. You need to get your financial shit together. And who better to do that than a former military dude? Specifically, I'm talking about Nick O'Kelly. You know he's legit, long tabber, special forces, 160th pilot. He's not your average dude. Now, I take small piles of money and I give it to him with the goal of making them bigger piles of money. We're not just talking about only managing money. We're talking about building a financial strategy, estate planning, retirement planning. We're talking 5-paragraph op order kind of shit, but for your finances. Nick helped me set up the trust. He handles all that shit. I don't want to do that. It's annoying. I want nothing to do with it.
Sounds good to me.
He also works with my CPA, and they do all the tax strategy stuff. I've got a couple businesses that are side hustles. Tyler's got a couple businesses that are side hustles. You need some cats looking out for you. Cadence Wealth Partners can be those cats. They're trusted advisors. They come from our community. You know they're legit. Visit cadencewealthpartners.com to start a conversation today. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right. Hey, guys, we're back. Today, we're talking with Chris Maleta. He is from Carry the Flag. Why don't you start by introducing yourself and what you do and how you kind of came to Carry the Flag?
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, I'm Chris Maleta. Thank you guys for letting me be on your podcast. And yeah, I'm the founder of Carry the Flag. I bet a lot of people have seen me on social media, maybe been doing some pop-up shops, but yeah, carrytheflagusa.com. I started it last year. So it's a year from when the concept was said to me, but I started it in January. So last September 11th, I was supposed to do the 9/11 stair climb. So here in Kansas City, we have a high rise that will walk up the floors, and then they'll bring us down the elevator, walk up the floors for 110 stories to commemorate the guys on 9/11. 300.
Yeah. And you're a firefighter, right? That's your
full active firefighter paramedic.
And you guys are doing this in the full gear, the whole. What do you call that? What's it called?
Bunker gear.
Bunker gear. Yeah. Tyler's brother was a firefighter, so Tyler's probably up on all the lingo.
Yeah, dude, I mean, the thing about it is the guys on 9/11, They wore their packs, they wore all their gear, and they went up those stairs. So when I do the 9/11 stair climb, it's full out bunker gear, boots, everything. I've seen guys say, "Hey, I'm going to take my liners out, or make it not as bad." But it's like, hey, those guys didn't have the option.
Yeah.
We're going to do it full out, just like they would do it.
Yeah. It kind of cheapens it a little bit, maybe. And
Yeah,
that's coming from a guy that's never done that. So
the feeling of doing it, the honor of, I mean, it's just one of those days where everybody you get your tag of the guy that you're climbing for. And it's just one of those things that it's such an honor to climb those stairs for that guy and to honor them. And I mean, man, what is it, 24 years now?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's been 24 years.
It still feels like yesterday, like when you hear that, when I hear, so I was supposed to do the 9/11 stair climb and I couldn't do it because I had family obligations. And my fellow firefighter, just like what we do, is we bust each other's balls. And he looks at me, he goes, "Chris, who's going to carry the flag? Who's going to carry the flag for that guy that you're climbing the stairs for? Who's going to carry the flag for your crew, your family, your kids?" And I was like, damn, man, that's freaking deep. You started thinking about it. And it's like, man, have I been that, role model? Have I done that? And so we went in for that workout that day, and it's like, who's going to carry the flag? Who's going to carry the flag? And the day that you do the stair climb, it's very like, it's just a good thing just to honor everybody. We're all there as brothers. Like it's deep. That day is like, yeah, everybody, some guys kind of get jacked for it. They're like, oh, let's climb the stairs as fast as we can. And we're putting out, but it's there to honor the guys.
Right? Yeah.
And you start thinking about it, and there's guys on the fire department, there's guys in the military now that weren't even born on 9/11.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Like,
isn't that?
And they've been doing it for years at this point too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they started a year or two after 9/11. It's been a long time since they've done the stair climb here. And I've done it 5 times now. But it was wild that it was like, dude, the new guys, the rookies on the job, weren't even born on 9/11. And it's like, right. And in their defense, they don't understand that 343 firefighters died that day. It's not, unless you're a firefighter, you really don't know that number. It's not like they teach it in school. Hey, I hope, and I need to ask my kids, are they actually teaching it in school? I don't know if the history books have been revised to where it's in, but it should be.
Right.
Isn't it weird that September 11th is not a federal holiday?
I thought it was Patriots Day because I've been seeing kind of some people posting it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome, And when you look at it, you're like, well, it's not actually Patriot Day. It's like, why isn't it? Like,
right. Yeah, I mean, we have Pearl Harbor Day. I mean, which granted is in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
I mean, Pearl Harbor Day isn't a federal holiday either, but I just kind of feel like September 11th should probably be a federal holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it was the biggest terrorist attack since,
Pearl
Harbor.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was wild to me. And when he said that, it just hit. And I was like, damn, man. Like, and so, the months went on, and October, November, December, and I'm just like out doing my runs, and this message is still sticking with me. And so in January, I sat down at the station and I just started designing. I was like, because I have a background, I've started businesses before, but this one, it was just like I started designing who's going to carry the flag. It just didn't look sexy, It was like it didn't look good, and all of a sudden I took, I put carry the flag down, and I put the font on it, and I was like, dude, that's pretty badass. I was like, I like that, and it just is like, dude, who are you carrying the flag for? You carrying it for your family? You carrying it for your crew? Like, who are you carrying it for? It just kept sticking with me. And so, dude, like I said, I know how to print shirts and stuff. So I printed 30 out, and I went to the NASCAR, and I just walked the parking lot. And I was just like, I just want to see if people care, because I also started this to teach my kids, hard work, perseverance, adversity, things like that. Because when you get out in front of people and you start trying to sell stuff, it's not easy, you know.
No.
So I did it for them, and so they went with me. My wife actually went with me that day too. And about an hour through, we sold everything, but I think like one small. I say we sold everything because it was like smalls are hard to sell anyways. But
yeah, and it's a NASCAR event. Like,
Ain't
who's
nobody
really
small
going to be
at
in
a
a
NASCAR
small?
event.
yeah, 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 exactly. But dude, I sold all the shirts, and not only did we sell the shirts, but there were so many awesome stories that we heard. You know, one of the ladies, she was like, "Hey, my husband was a fireman and he died from cancer," and she bought a shirt. And then another one was, "Hey, you know, my uncle was in Vietnam, got shot down in a helicopter," and you know, it was just. It was amazing that it was like, I really feel like not only are we on to something, but we're on to something positive. And especially in nowadays with our country where it's at, I feel like we need this message more than anything. Like we all need to step up and we need to carry the flag for the next generation and set the examples and standards that we used to have in this country that I feel like we've laxed on, you know. And it's really weird because like September 11th, I felt like our country was more together and united than we've ever seen it before. And how we've got to where we're at today, it's like, man, how did we get here? You know,
It's like we'll never be united on anything ever again. It almost feels like that was the last moment in time where for 24 to 48 hours, it was like, we're all in this together. And then,
dude, yeah, you'd look at somebody on the street and you'd be like, yeah. We're in yeah.
Yeah. Remember all those bumper stickers that were like an American flag, like United We Stand bumper stickers? I would say it was more than a couple days. I mean, it was a solid couple months,
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
and then, because I remember Afghanistan kicked off in October of 01. And that was SOF 160th, you know, the organization that Tyler and I was part of flew and dropped some guys off. And I mean, you can read all about it, but we weren't in the organization at that time. But yeah, and then I remember watching on TV the Marines had put it was called Objective Rhino. They put it in like I think that was in November. But were you a fireman on September 11th already?
No. I graduated in 2003. I finally got on the fire department in 2008, October of 2008. Before that, I volunteered at a department, and then I worked an ambulance service before I could get on full time.
Yeah.
How did like when September 11th happened, and then you're still in high school, right? You got a couple years left. Did that like affect your path?
So
like driving you towards being a firefighter, like did something happen, or is that just kind of like by chance?
So I have a long history in my family of firefighters.
Okay.
And my grandfather was a firefighter. It skipped my uncle and my dad, but my cousin's a firefighter. My brother's a firefighter. We have other cousins. And then I have like second cousin up in St. Joe, Missouri. And then his dad and his grandpa were all firefighters.
Okay. So it's in the blood.
So yeah. So I went to college and I was playing baseball at the time. And I remember kind of coming up to my last semester of that one. And I was like, man, like baseball's cool, but I don't really feel like I have it to make it to the next level.
Right.
So I was like, I remember to this day, I went down to the Marines recruit office and I didn't tell my parents. And I just went down there and I wanted to hear what they had to say. Cause you know, dude, I was like, man, it was between the Marines or fire department. And it was just that family history that I directed into the fire department. And it's really weird how I look at it, that it's like, damn, man, I told my dad this story probably about a year ago. And he was like, I had not a clue that you went down to the recruiter's office. And I don't know what it was or how they, you know, say things. Dude, you didn't know anything about, you know, the special forces and all this stuff that they're talking about now. Now you're like, damn, dude, maybe things could have been different, or like flying fighter jets or something, like so all this stuff that you see now that you're like, I just went and talked to a recruiter and it was probably a good thing, because I do hear about how, you're supposed to get stuff in writing now, and, make sure
Yeah.
you know what you want to do, so you're not, but it's crazy that you look back on the decisions that you made. But I do remember I was at the recruiter's office that day. I went after practice because it was right down the road, and I was just like, man, my grandfather was a really big influence on me. He was my huge role model, and my dad too, on hard work and everything. But it was just that, man, I remember we were cleaning out gutters. So he passed away when I was a junior in high school.
Your grandfather?
My grandfather did, yeah.
Yep.
And he got on the department right after World War II. So I think it was 1949. And I remember we were cleaning out gutters one day, probably as maybe a freshman, maybe 8th grade. And he was like, he saw me throw the ladder up, and he was like, man, you'd be an awesome firefighter one day. And that just, dude, I still remember to this day, like vividly, there's those things that you were just like, I think that's what just always drove me.
I think all kids too always want to be, like, my son wanted to be a fireman for like a long time. And even when I was a kid, I was like, I think there's usually, like, military, fire, police, because they're helping people. And I think for firefighters, it's a little bit, it's a little bit different than being a cop per se, because like one time my wife left a pot of beans on the stove cooking. This is a true story. And
she's
like
mad at you.
she left
Yeah.
to go somewhere for whatever reason. She thought it was a great idea just to put it on low. And we had one of those induction kind of stove tops, and we'd never had that before. And so, long story long, it completely catches on fire and smokes up the entire house. We've got dogs in the house, and the county fire department where we live, by the time, we had ADT or whatever monitoring but by the time that she got home, the local firemen had already rescued the dogs, had giant fans in the house and like sucking all the smoke out.
Yeah.
And like the only thing that we had to do was take some curtains down that smelled like smoke. And it took 3 or 4 days to get the smoke smell out. But I was super impressed at how professional and like on it those guys were. I mean, I missed it. Like I was coming up as they were like rolling up the hoses and doing all the stuff, and like they saved our house. And when you get like, this is like your sanctuary where you live and you bed. I mean, it's your house is kind of everything. And when
it's the sum of your life up into that point, really.
Yeah. All of our like pictures and kids, like, people don't really put it in perspective. And I just realized that, like, now that I'm saying this, Tyler, I mean, your house burnt down like when you were a kid. So, anyways, I just think like people see firefighters as like, local heroes. That's something that's attainable too. Like you can go be a firefighter,
And I think the point that you made about like, there's always kind of like a track for kids. You can go back. We had these little books, each one of us did when we were super young. And you could look at all the shit that we would write. And I always drew like army guys, or like, oh, I want to be in the army. I want to do army stuff. And I'm like 5 years old, right? And my brother was always drawing fire trucks. And I ended up in the army, and he ended up being a firefighter. So it's just kind of like, there is some kind of weird childhood path that you kind of go down. And I think a lot of people have that in them, but they don't do it. And they go to college, they get the business job. And then in their 40s, they're like, man, I really missed my opportunity to do something meaningful for the first 20 years of my life.
Yeah, it is definitely a little confusing on how to get on and the certifications and stuff that you do need.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I remember asking my brother after I got out of, playing baseball, I was like, hey, what do we need to do to get on the fire department? Because it's not like when my dad was younger, he said, dude, all you did was go down and you just took a test. Right. And then they would, put you in line or whatever. And then you would get a phone call, and now it's, you got to get these certifications. You got to, most places you got to at least have the medical experience where it's an EMT or paramedic, and then some departments you have to have your fire 1 and 2, and every state's just so different on doing it. It is very confusing for people to, to try to get on. And like you said, it is obtainable, but it's just a little confusing on the certifications. And if you don't have somebody in there doing it, you're like, what the hell is an EMT?
Right.
I didn't know what the hell an EMT was. I was like,
and why do I need it? I'm going to be a firefighter.
yeah.
I don't think people realize too how crazy firefighting is. Like you could be you're dead asleep at the fire station. I'm assuming this is how it goes. You're dead asleep. You could get a call from like a baby choking to like a huge structure fire. I mean, and the crazy thing is like these are ultra like traumatic events, and then you just go back to sleep at the fire station. And then you get up the next day and you drive home and you're back to like, at least in the military, like when we would deploy overseas, we would, the time it takes to come home is like a natural built-in decompression time. And I don't think that like there's people out there, I'm assuming, that are driving ambulances and fire trucks that see some gnarly, serious shit. And then they get off and they go to the gym and they, and there's no
Stop and
wonder
get groceries on the way home and then realize that they got to pay the homeowners association fee that day because they sent them a picture of their fucking driveway and needs to be pressure washed.
Like some of the stuff Tyler's brother was telling us, I'm just like, how are you still functioning? Like, how are you,
Definitely, I see both sides of it because yes, there is some days like, because I mean, you got to think like you could be running all night long too. I mean, when I was working with, Kansas City, Kansas, I mean, dude, there was many nights that you were just, knew. I mean, dude, I would sleep in my uniform because it was just like, you just knew. You're like, I'm getting up. It's not worth getting out of my uniform.
Right.
And so not only are you freaking just running call after call after call, but you never know what you're going to go on. And of course, you're going to get the dispatch information. And let me tell you, dispatch is never right.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff you come up and you're like, oh shit. I didn't see this coming. You said it, you said it was like chest pain. You didn't say that there was a knife in somebody's chest. It was like,
well, it is chest pain.
Yeah.
There's different levels to chest pain.
But I mean, dude, but like so us decompressing, but I mean, military, you got to think about like those, you guys are over there for what, 6 months to a year. And dude, every single day, how your day's not you don't know how your day's going to be mapped out, but this is your job.
Right.
This is what I do. I'm doing this. And then when you come home and then they want you to just jump back into normal civilization, you're like,
yeah,
wait, what?
Yeah. We always say that war is like easy street. Like life is real easy in combat because there's only one thing to do and everything kind of falls in. There's no like bills and soccer games and making sure that, there's no water heater breaking down,
Well, that you have to pay for. I mean, the water heater breaks down.
I mean,
fucking
somebody's,
if you got the shower
it's
and
not
the
my
tent
problem.
and
Yeah.
But you ain't got to pay for it. I don't have to call somebody to fix it.
Dude, I have military buddies, and you see that, yes, they're on the fire department, but you still see that it's affected them because it's like, I don't know, like you come back and it's like all these added stresses where you're like, hey, this is what I'm trained to do. I'm trained to go to war. I'm trained to do this. You want me to come do this now? And all of a sudden, like you said, you get that decompression, but how quickly are you back in the States and you're just thrown right back into where it's like, oh shit, like,
yeah. To me, I think it would be harder. Like, we have a buddy, Doug White. He's a sheriff's deputy.
Yeah. He was on.
And
Doug's.
some of this.
Oh
yeah. Doug. Yeah, that's right. So Doug, if you read his book, Hiding in Plain Sight, I'll link to it in show notes. But if you read his book, some of the stories in there, you're like, holy shit, man. Like, and yeah, go ahead.
And you have to think. So like when you call 911 and if it's something big, you're getting a police officer first thing.
Yeah.
So they're not medically trained. I mean, they are, CPR and stuff, but usually, and I heard this joke the other day was they were like, we're the first responders. You're the second responders. And dude, there's several times where we come up on a bad scene and PD's already there. They can't really do anything. They're
Right.
just set, and then so PD goes through some shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I was probably like, I think I might have told this story before, but when I was probably like 19, I witnessed a horrific car crash, and I was like one of the first people. I was in the Army, and so I kind of had like, basic combat first aid, and I got up to the van that was upside down, and I looked in the van. There was nobody in there. I eventually found the guy that was in there. He went through the windshield, and his arm was basically cut off. I mean, it was a little bit of muscle fiber, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
this dude is bleeding out. And the cop, it was Daytona Beach police officer. This was when I was in Daytona, but long story. In the 90s, it was the place for spring break. But this cop was looking at me, and he was white as a ghost. And I was like, "Give me your belt." They have those like gun belts.
Yeah.
And I was trying to make a tourniquet with it because I had like board shorts on and flip flops, and I was trying to make a tourniquet with this guy's gun belt, which is basically impossible because it's like 3 inches thick. Yeah. And then he had a belt on his normal pants, like a normal, like woven kind of like, those army kind of belts, the black ones. And I was able to make a tourniquet out of that. But when the firemen showed up, they had seen what I had done, and the guy starts telling me to do stuff in like first, like EMT type stuff. He's like, "Get the ambu bag or whatever it's called, and it's in compartment 3." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, I have no idea. But
I hadn't heard it.
the point of that story is like, I'm assuming firemen see all, like, you see the worst in humanity and the most tragic of, and then you're left with, when you're putting a fire out of somebody's house that burned to the ground, and like, what do you say to the people? Like, we did our best. Like sometimes, how do you deal with that?
Yeah. I mean, that's, we let the white shirts deal with that.
Yeah.
It is one of those.
Is that like the supervisor or something?
Yeah, that's your chiefs.
Okay.
They're the white shirts. They deal with all the, they deal with all that. But yeah, it's one of those things where you hope for a fire, but then like, be careful what you wish for, because you never, a lot of bad things happen, family members, there's people in the house. Like, it's one of those things where we cheer for it, but then at the aftermath, you're like, damn, man, this was somebody's house. Like, you got to be respectful, because like you said, dude, you lost your house when you were a kid, and your wife had, like, it's one of those things where when you start getting older, you start realizing that you're like, oh shit, man, like, this just isn't a game. This is actually somebody's stuff. They're, and heaven forbid something happen to somebody. It's hard when you have to see that, and you're like, oh my God, like, I can't imagine what they're going through right now.
When you said that, it's wildly similar to like when you get a new guy in the Army and they're on their first deployment, like, man, I hope we get into a fucking firefight tonight. I'm like, man, I could go without getting shot at for the rest of my life and be like, cool with it. Like, when you're young, and of course you're training to go to war, and you watch the towers fall and all your buddies went off to war too, so you're like, this is what I'm going to do. I got to get out there and take the fucking fight to these people. And then again, you grow up, right, and you're like, man, it's not that cool.
It's like easy.
Yeah,
careful what you wish for.
Yeah, like, dude, it's not as awesome as you think it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels, I think, too, because like Tyler was saying, is like the guys that are like on social media, like, yeah, I want to fight, I want to get in there, man. The first time you really get shot at,
and your friends are dying,
you make yourself as small as possible. Like, I'm trying to collapse into myself, because when you can hear stuff whizzing by your ears, and that feeling, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I imagine it's like fighting fire. Like, that's
there's nothing like being
man.
inside of a fully engulfed building, I'm sure.
Yeah,
you're
like,
just kind of like, fuck, this is crazy.
Yeah, when you're on that line between I could die or this might turn out okay, like, and then whenever the adrenaline comes down, you're like, I fucking never want to do that again. You know?
Oh fuck! Like what? That was close. But I mean, it's like when you're younger and the house is rolling, and I mean, I am on an aggressive department still now, but there are like some fire departments that aren't very aggressive. In my department that I'm on now, so because I did 15 years in Kansas City, Kansas, and then I went to Oak Island, North Carolina, because I want to be a firefighter on the beach.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
where I'm from, Wilmington. We talked about that.
really,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we lived in Leland for
yeah.
a little over a year. Yeah.
L.A. man, Leland area.
So
God.
my wife ended up having a medical issue. She became a type 1 diabetic at 38 and spent 3 nights in the ICU. And she goes, Chris, I just want to go home. So I had some buddies leave Kansas City, Kansas to go to the department that I'm on now. And so we're just a little suburb right outside Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. But Kansas City, Kansas, we're a very aggressive department too. And especially like when you're younger, you want to, prove yourself to the guys that, hey,
Right.
So you're running in hardcore. I mean, you ain't looking at shit. You're just running in to freaking do your work, And as you get older and you look around and you're like, dude, if shit would have hit the fan, I would have had no clue what this house looked like. I would have had no clue where the hell I'm at or anything because I just ran in here balls to the wall just to put this fire out. And then as you get older, you're like, hey, man, you need to slow down, look at where your exits are. So if shit does hit the fan, at least you know some places to get out.
Right.
Rather than just running in. But there's been several of them where you will get in there, and if somebody would have said, stop, where's your exits? What's this house look like? I'd been like, I have not a clue.
Damn.
Not a clue. But
yeah,
being young is fucking crazy.
yeah, no shit.
Oh my God.
Now, there's a fine line between aggressiveness and stupid. And there was a lot of times I was on that stupid side where it was like, fuck, man, was that
Well, hopefully
really
you live long enough to find out that it's stupid, right? That you can like live
Very
long
true,
enough to
very
recognize
true, yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
when you guys show up to a fire, is there like a boss, like Bill and Mickey, you guys go over there and make entry over here, and Jenkins, McAllister, you guys, like, is there a plan, or is everybody just like, we're fucking fire, put it out? Like, is there like a tactics to it?
There are very, very lot of tactics. I will say when I was very first on in Kansas City, Kansas, we were a lot of cowboys. There's always command. There's always somebody that's in command, but there was a lot of freelancing that would go on, and you were just very aggressive doing cowboy shit. But there is a lot more structure now as time goes on. But yes, usually the first rig that's on scene, the captain on the seat takes command, and they're in command until they pass it off to like a chief. There's somebody that shows up.
Okay. All right.
So, and then we have standard operating procedures. So, first rig that's on, that the engine, obviously you're going to pull a line and you're going to start putting the fire out. First truck on scene is going to go in for search. Second engine that's on scene, they're either going to help with water supply or they're going to pull a second line, things like that. So there is tactics and stuff that go on. A lot of it doesn't really even have to be said. It's just, if you're doing it enough, you just kind of know that you're like, okay. But a lot of the fire service now is going to like this blue card stuff to where it's like, you don't go until like you are assigned by that command. So it's a lot more like cowboy stuff and a lot more structure.
Yeah.
Do you think that's from a position of like risk adversity, or do you think it's because they just, or is it just
and risk? Yeah, because I mean, like I said, there's definitely a fine line between aggressive and stupid, and accountability, and the chiefs to be able to know where everybody's at and who's where. Because there was many times, because we would do ambulance time over at KCK2, but if you got on scene, like you could attach yourself, you'd go up to command and they would attach you to a pumper, and sometimes they wouldn't even know who the hell, okay, well, EMS 5, who the hell are you attached to? Who's on EMS 5? Nobody knows, but they're attached to us, so a lot of accountability stuff, I guess, So it's a good thing. It's also lets crews work. Hey, because everybody wants to be the quarterback. Everybody wants to freaking put that fire out. Everybody wants to make that save. But like, you just got there's a job for everybody. There's a
Right.
reason why there's.
Yeah, and fire departments are organized like into companies and battalions, just like the Army and the Marine Corps are, right? Like you have companies and battalions, like probably in bigger
Yeah,
departments.
yeah. I mean, probably bigger departments, and I mean KCK was pretty big. But we didn't. I mean, I guess if you had like battalions, would be like your district. You had
Yeah.
ones, two, threes, but then like companies are your stations.
Yeah. Do you guys ever come across like volunteer firefighters? I've always wondered what professional firefighters think about volunteer firefighters. Because I wonder if it's like the Army when we think about the National Guard, like, man, these
Dude,
guys,
this
like,
is what I have to say about volunteers: is
Bless their
they
heart.
get out of their own bed at their house,
yeah,
go help somebody.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's huge, man. I mean, you're gonna wake me up at 12 o'clock at night to go. Like, hats off. Like, awesome, man. Like, they're great to have, and I know people give them shit, just probably like how but they're great for
yeah. I mean,
guys. I mean, dude, they leave their kids' birthday parties to
yeah.
go help somebody. Like,
At
I
home, that they ride around with like the red fire light
yeah,
things and they get their trucks all modded that like when they're on a call their lights do the whole thing and they ride with their gear in the back of the truck and they're like, if they're not at work or they're on the way home, like they show up and when you think about it, these guys aren't getting paid, they're risking their life, and that's real service and there's some community there too, like
Yeah.
they're serving their
yeah.
community.
Yeah,
uh,
dude, hats off. I really respect those guys because it's like I've seen them leave birthday parties
Yeah.
to go help somebody. And
The,
so when I was at Oak Island, Kansas City, Kansas, there wasn't volunteer departments around, so we didn't really deal with volunteer departments. But in Kansas City, Oak Island, we were surrounded by volunteer departments. So Oak Island was paid, and then we had volunteer departments around. And I remember them saying that, dude, there's this one, like, I thought that they said it was like, they would say that there was like a lot of like New Yorkers in this one community and a lot of like retired FD&Y guys and like
yeah,
New
St.
Jersey
James
firemen.
Plantation probably.
Dude, you're
Yeah,
freaking exactly right.
yeah,
Yes. St.
yeah.
James. And we end up catching a fire in there one night. And they're like, hey, I'm going to tell you, if you catch a fire back there, there's going to be guys that are directing you, like with, glow sticks that you see at the airport. And I'm like, you're full of shit. I'm not. Dude, I swear to God, you freaking turn into that community. Here's the guys. And I mean, they're directing you all the way in. I'm like, well, this is really nice.
yeah, it's
I was like, I've
convenient.
never had somebody do this.
Yeah, and what's weird about that area is Oak Island's probably got a like population of like 10,000 people, and in the summer it might swell a little bit bigger. I mean, it's kind of a arguably a suburb of Wilmington, but still, but you have like Boiling Springs Lake Fire Department, volunteer fire department,
Yep.
Shalot's down there, all
Southport.
yeah, Southport. Although Southport might have a city. Do they have a city fire department?
I think they're mixed. I
Yeah,
think
and then you
that
got Sunny Point Military Ocean Terminal has a big fire department
geez,
because
man.
there's
Yeah.
like munitions and stuff out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could.
So you said Boiling Lake, right?
Yeah,
So
Boiling Springs Lake. Yeah,
yeah, Boiling Springs. My wife and I, we head out to Wilmington to do my interview. And sorry, we're staying in Wilmington and we're driving down to Oak Island. We're driving around looking at houses and stuff, and um, we're looking at these houses on this lake, Boiling Springs, and it's like, man, there's houses here. Where's the
there's
fucking lake?
nothing out there.
Like,
Yeah,
there should be a lake right here. So I get into my interview and they're like, hey, do you have any questions for us? And I said, yeah. My wife and I are looking at houses around Boiling Springs. What happened to the lake? They're like, oh, yeah, the hurricane wiped out the dam. There's no lake there anymore.
No
the
way.
city got like federal money to replace the dam and they couldn't afford it, or they used the money on something else and they're like, yeah, it's dried up. There is no lake. No shit.
Yeah, there's a little thing over there. I don't know that I would call it a lake. It's called Spring Lake. It's kind of
A pond.
it's like a big pond.
Yeah.
Like and that place is like right across from Sunny Point Military Ocean Terminal, and there's nothing. The only thing I think there's a golf course out there now. They were building it up. I mean, I left
Yeah, when
that
did you
area
move
in the
there?
90s. Yeah, in like the mid
90s?
90s. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I used to drive on 133 from Wilmington to Southport because I dated a girl that lived in Southport. And that's like the most desolate stretch of like,
Dude,
if you're going to see Bigfoot, that's where you're going to see
I
Bigfoot.
would all ask Oak Island on that every morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be like, man, if there's a cop sitting here, I'm gonna get a ticket. But it was a cool ride though. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
got lonely pines all over the place. Yeah.
it's a pretty drive, but
So yeah,
Skunk
so
Ape,
I'm on
man,
Oak
Bigfoot,
Island,
it's out there.
and dude, like the first, my first rotation on there, they were like, hey, the Facebook community page just posted that there's an 8-foot alligator out in the surf on some point, and I'm like, you guys have alligators here? And they're like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude, big
and bears.
alligators. They were like, if we catch a fire over by the golf course, be careful by those ponds because them damn alligators sit in there. I'm like, oh shit, I thought we were too far north for these things. And dude, no kidding.
Oh,
Yeah, they're all over the place. I was like, holy shit. I mean, dude, there's like behind one of the grocery stores, there's like, kind of that water runoff spot. Dude, there was a 10-foot gator sitting in there one freaking day. And I'm like, and this lady's just walking her dog down by the freaking the ditches and stuff. And they're like, hey, ma'am, you might not want to walk that dog there because that damn gator is going to get it. And I'm like, holy shit.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah. Tyler and I we live in Florida, and it's like somebody dies annually from a gator attack. Like
Dude, there's a trail I go ride my bike on, right? And it's a road, and it's out in this wetlands, and there's a fuck ton of gators everywhere. But I continually see people with their dogs off leashes running up and down these roads, and on either side of it is like swampland. And I'm like, man, you're
asking for it.
In Florida, if there's a body of water, 100% chance there's gators in there.
Yeah, even if your driveway just flooded, like, be concerned.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a whole different. I was just like, so then my kids are like, hey, we're gonna go out back and play, and you kind of like a little swampy area, and I'm like, you guys might want to be careful back there, be aware that, and it was just kind of funny because I was just showing the guys this morning, one of my my captains out there, I guess he was kayaking in one of was it Black Swamp?
Yeah, there's Green Swamp out there by that area. Yeah.
And dude, I guess one of the gators was protecting its nest, and he's over there kayaking, and he's got his GoPro on, and that fucking gator comes over in the water, knocks his freaking kayak over. He freaks out and falls into the water. That video actually made it onto Good Morning America, and like, dude, he's made a ton of money off that freaking video, and he was like, dude, I'm scared shitless.
Nope, that's not for me.
Yeah,
I was doing an adventure race in Central Florida, and one of the points was out in the middle of the swamp, and you're just trekking through all this stuff, boop, 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 boop. And I see this point, and I was kind of the first person to come up to the area. I was like, man, maybe I don't want that point that bad, right? And then all of a sudden, this little fucking pencil neck nerd comes by me and just jumps right into this little swamp and starts trudging across the point. I was like, oh, fuck. Well, if he's doing it, I have to do it. And if a gator pops up, that kid's going down first.
Yeah.
I'll surf his body.
Go first, bud.
Yeah. You go find him for me.
Hey, they say just dive under the water, right? They don't attack you under the water, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. That's 100%.
Try that.
That's too easy.
They were saying that with anacondas. They're like, dude, anacondas, they won't attack you above, underwater. Go underwater. I'm like, No, I'm good, man.
I'm not even
I-
trying to be on land or any. I'm not maybe not even in the same country as an anaconda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they say to zigzag, but I think that's like a myth
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because gators can sprint like really short distances, but they
Yeah.
get tired out really quick. So
Yeah. I get tired out really quick too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just thinking
Yeah.
about that. I'm tired right now.
Yeah.
So here's a random question about firefighting. Are you guys I've heard a lot of things that there's a lot of mandatory overtime in some departments where like you've been, I don't know what are the shifts like? I mean, they're 24 hours, right? Is it like 3 days of 24? Or like how's the shifts normally work?
So yeah, some every department's kind of different. At KCK, we did one day on, then 2 days off. So the department that I'm on now in Oak Island, they call it the swing shift, Berkeley shift, the whatever. So you do 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 4 days off.
Okay.
And then it just keeps rotating. So then there's some departments, I think they do 2 days on, 2 days on, 4 days off, 2 days on, 4 days off. So everybody's different. Because I even think I heard like FDNY does 12-hour shifts maybe. Because they're just running fucking calls and calls and calls.
Yeah.
But
I know a guy that he has a podcast called Behind the Shield, and he's a professional firefighter, but now just podcasts full time. And he is an advocate of the 24/72. You're on 24 hours, you're off 72.
oh yeah, I'd be completely
And
against that.
yeah, I guess
I'll
because
do any job for that. Like that.
Yeah. I think I just saw, what is it? Plano, Texas is the first department to do that. I thought.
there's been a bunch. There's like 8 or 9 here in Florida that do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would freaking that'd be awesome. Let's
Yeah,
do that.
you should connect with I'll hook you up with him, and
All right.
yeah, he's like a big proponent, fire, not union, but like firefighter, like I don't want to say rights, but he's an advocate. Yeah.
Advocate, yeah.
But like Kansas City, Kansas, there was a lot of mandatory overtime. I still think that they're going through it right now. Like, dude, it would be, and they were short at the time that when I was there. I mean, dude, it'd be Christmas. So like one of my buddies got forced overtime on Christmas. Like, hey, nobody's answering their phone for the overtime. You're up. And there you go. He just worked Christmas Eve, and now he's got to work Christmas.
Dude, and then your kids were planning on you being home, and like,
it was, it definitely, it's one of those things. The department that I'm on is, like I said, the culture is very good. A lot of guys like to pick up the overtime so that, the department stays well. But there are departments out there that are just forcing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough spot because you don't really have a choice. Like you can't, not covering is not an option, right? So
yeah. And dude, if I'm not relieved, there's nothing I can do,
Yeah.
I have to get relieved before I can leave. But I mean, it's just a crappy thing. And I was just kind of thinking about it today, was you have politicians that run a city that have no fucking clue how to budget books at all.
Yes.
But yet they're going to come into a city and they're going to spend all this freaking money, and then it's going to come up to, oh, well, we need to hire people. Well, we can't afford it. It's because we put politicians in places, especially these smaller towns and smaller cities and cities that have no clue how to fucking run a business or a city. Because, I mean, technically a city is a business.
Right.
But they're going to come in here, and just because they are a dentist and they have all these friends, they're going to know how to run a fucking city.
Right.
So then you have them as your mayor that's blowing all this stupid money on all this other bullshit. And then they're going to come in there and then they're going to be like, oh, well, hey, we need to hire 10 firefighters. Yeah, we don't have the money for that.
But my jet.
But yeah.
My vacations, my whatever they're embezzling.
We had one mayor that he thought he was so hot shit that he hired extra security
What?
so that, you know, his house and everything was good and all that. And it's like, dude, we're in Kansas City, Kansas. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You are not a big deal.
Or what are you doing that you think you would require a little bit more security? Like, what are you up to, you little shithead?
True on that
Well,
too.
the amount of like local corruption, like my wife's from Western New York, and the little town that she's from, the it's not the town manager, I think it's what it's called. There's
That's what
like
we had.
$1.3 million missing, and
Whoops.
everybody in the town's like, "Man, I don't know." I'm like, "What? What do you mean you don't? Where I'm a
That came
tax
from
at
your
the-
bank account.
Yeah, like
Like that's
how do you
from your
not?
bank account.
It's 2025. How did you not see the digital paper trail of where this money went? Like, how is this even possible? And they're like, yeah, it's you know. In this case, everybody kind of knew that person embezzled it, but they couldn't prove it. I'm like, how do you not? It's not like you have like Scrooge McDuck stacks of money sitting in like this little town of 15,000 people. Like,
Oh, I guess I miscounted the dough.
yeah,
Oh shit! I didn't carry the one.
Right. And it's all
Yeah.
digital. It's all digital,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
there's,
you would
there's a
you would
trail of
think.
everything.
Yeah,
You didn't misplace it. You spent it. What'd you spend it on?
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And then they're gonna bitch at you because they're like, oh well, you know, you guys are asking for too much stuff. It's like, you know, dude, it took me like 12 years just to get a raise at Kansas City, Kansas. Like
Woo.
it was a long time because our mayor wasn't friends with our union. But our
Yeah.
mayor just kept spending stupidly that it's like, guys, like
Ugh.
it took they finally got a big raise when I left and I was in Oak Island and my brother called me and said they finally got their raise. That was 15 years.
Holy moly!
Like, and then like you said, then they're short on guys. They don't want to hire people because they don't have any money, but yet
Right.
they won't. Like, do we have like this gigantic outlet center over here? It's packed all the time. I'm like, you guys have money coming in. Where's all this money going? Like,
Right.
how do you? It doesn't make sense, you know. So then they'll get on us for overtime. Well, you guys won't hire anybody, so what do you expect? Overtime's going to get higher because you're not hiring anybody.
Is there a point when you guys are working overtime that it goes to double time, or is it just always stay at 1.5?
No, yeah, it's always at that one.
I bet in California, if you work past X amount of hours, it goes to double time.
I wonder. That would be.
They probably don't even pay their firefighters.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
you should be lucky enough to have us.
Dude,
to
no
put
way,
fires
dude.
out for.
LA County Fire, those guys are paid well. Like and I guess I'm talking about from the aerial firefighting, the helicopter pilots and
Yeah.
Cal Fire are paid very, very well. And Cal Fire's retirement is sick.
Dude, that would be a badass job.
But you're out there doing like on the side of a mountain. And let me tell you, the worst job. I mean, people love it, but those hot shot crews that are on the side of a mountain, like people don't understand that those dudes are fighting a fire. Then they walk back down the mountain, or maybe they'll get a ride, and then they like camp out. They're literally camping in tents for like 30 days, and they're making like $12 an hour, $15 an hour.
Yeah,
And
I was looking into that when I was trying to figure out how to like not kill myself and what am I going to do after the army. I was like, all right, well, if I run away from home, I can go join one of those crews and I can live in the woods and we can put out fires. And it's like, it was no shit. Like the pay was $400 a week.
yeah,
Dude, it's bad.
They're all like ski bums that in the wintertime they do like ski
with
patrol.
No ties to anything, right? Like I don't have a house, I don't have belongings, I don't have a family. Like this is all what I'm doing.
You walk around that camp where they're all sleeping, and it's right, man. It smells like.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the movie Only the Brave?
Not yet. But
so that's over I think it's Prescott Hot Shots.
The guys who got circled in and
in like 19, perished.
Yep.
It gives you a very good sense of what those guys go through. I mean, house fires like hot enough and big, but like, could you imagine a forest on fire?
Like when I was flying for firefighting, aerial firefighting, like I could feel the heat from the fire when we were dropping water on it, and I'm like 800, maybe not 800 feet, but hundreds of feet
3 to
above the
5.
fire. Yeah.
I can imagine, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Dude, so you brought up movies. What's your favorite firefighter movie?
Oh,
and say Backdraft. Yeah, okay.
Backdraft. So also, I did watch that with my grandfather growing up too.
Okay, yeah.
Is Backdraft like the Top Gun movie for firefighters?
Yeah. And Navy SEALs. Like you can put Top Gun, Navy SEAls, and Backdraft all like in the same category. Like the Charlie Sheen Navy SEAls.
Yeah, yeah. Where he jumps off the bridge when he
Ladder 49 is cool.
Yep. Okay, I remember that movie.
Ladder 49. My wife and I actually just watched it again. Probably about 6 months ago, and it was kind of cheesy, but it's like, you know what, it's cool. But yeah, Backdraft is the second one is complete trash. The second one,
there was a second Backdraft.
Yeah, dude, I made it like 10 minutes, and I watched some crappy ass movies, and I'm like, I can't even watch this.
Have they ever made a movie about September 11th firefighters? Have they made a movie about that?
49 wasn't it?
Is it about? Hold on, let me look it up.
No, Ladder 49 was just.
Yeah, it's in Ladder 49 takes place in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, no, I think there was one with
World Trade with Nicolas Cage, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't think it was like that was a police officer, but it wasn't like specifically.
Yeah, firefighters. It was like the whole kind of first responder thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. Let's see if there was any movies.
To the bottom of this.
Yeah. Although, like, there's nothing that's firefighter centric. There's United 93, World Trade Center, but they're not focusing on.
That was the one. That was the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's a prereq. So we had a rookie come on, and they never seen Backdraft. Like, all right, we'll watch a Backdraft. Like, you have like. It's such a good movie. Like, it's such a 90s movie.
Right.
I mean, when you have him take an extinguisher, bust off the top and throw it into the fire, you're like, oh my God. But it's so awesome.
Hell yeah. Let me try that. Did you ever try that?
No, I haven't tried that. But I did get my opportunity to get a rookie on a front door right before he opened it. He just opened it, and I was like, Did you check that heat? Did you check that door for heat, Timmy? And he already had the door open. I was like, well, damn, it's not very fun now, is it? That's one of the lines on Backdraft.
Yeah.
So
I pictured Navy SEALs use the Navy SEAL movie when they get a new guy, especially these days because they're young, right? They probably haven't seen it. They all get together and pig pile on each other, all oiled up and naked, and they just have like a slumber party, do pigtails and shit, and then just watch Navy SEAls.
Oh yeah.
So I love 80s and 90s movies.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
Do you guys get at your fire station? Do you just have like an open bay where you sleep, or do you sleep in like rooms and stuff?
It just depends at which station. So right now we're actually in a remodel. So we're all, dude, there's like one of the bunks. It was funny because my buddy just slept in it last night. It's like in this closet because they're remodeling the whole station and they're just trying to find places to put the beds. But I mean, you've had open bays where it's like, beds. Most of the time now, there's a wall at least separating you, or some lockers. Hell, there's even some departments that have their own rooms, and then the lights will flick a different color, will slowly come on, so it doesn't just startle you.
Okay.
But the one we're in, I mean, there's 3 beds in there right now, and it's just one of those things. We have a porta potty that's inside one of our bays so that we can use it because they knocked out all of our toilets. So,
dude, that's so awesome. I love porta potties.
Yeah.
It's actually one of those really nice ones now that you walk out and it's all decorated inside.
Yeah. With penises? Everybody's drawing dicks on the wall.
Yeah. I don't know who drew that.
Yeah. Weird.
It's a rocket ship.
Oh, so question about carry the flag. And I got to ask this.
We got derailed.
For carry the flag, you guys do t-shirts and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Did the guy that said that you were working out with, that's like, who's going to carry the flag? was he did he get that line from David Goggins about who's going to carry the boats, or was this before? Do you know what I'm talking about with David
Oh, I
Goggins,
do
this
know
whole
what you're
thing?
talking about because he questioned. I don't know, man. Probably at some point he probably did because he's kind of one of those cheesy guys that did. But I was like, I don't know if maybe he just said it out of the blue, and I'm just like, because everybody knows who Goggins is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does that. Who's going to carry the boat? Who's going to carry the pig? But I don't think so. And like I said, he was just leaving that day. He just stopped by to pick up stuff. He wasn't even at the workout that evening. It was somebody else that was there, and it was just like, damn, dude, like, who is going to carry the flag? I mean, it's
Yeah.
great. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a pretty good,
It's better than a boat.
moniker.
Yeah, who needs a
Well,
fucking
the
boat?
boat
I've
doesn't
never
really-
needed a boat.
Yeah.
dude,
and you wouldn't think to carry a boat, like.
Yeah, why not just put it in the fucking water? Who's going to drive the boat? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that makes
should
sense. I mean,
Dude,
yeah.
I watched those videos of those guys hitting those waves with those boats.
Yeah.
I can't, so I never really were in like big waves until there was a hurricane off the coast of North Carolina, and then we went out because there was big surf that day. And man, like, you get in some big waves, like, it is unbelievable the power of those waves.
Oh yeah.
And seeing them damn boats get thrown like that, it's
Woof.
like, oh my, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
The force
No
that's
thanks.
behind
Yeah,
no thanks.
my son and I were just surfing this past hurricane that passed off the coast of Florida, and like it was big, and just the power, the hydraulic pressure of the water pushing you it's unbelievable.
Dude, I mean, like, explaining that you're in a wash machine is exactly the way it feels when you finally get like closed out on that wave. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Is this ever going to end?
Yeah, and then you think about like these big wave surfers. You're like,
100-foot waves?
How do they do this? I'm like, I mean, even if it's like a 20 or 30-foot wave, like, that is incredible.
Yeah, I don't
You
even
know?
like standing on the edge of a 20-foot building.
Yeah, I've never seen a 20-foot wave. I want to see a 20-foot wave because it'll be like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah,
It's really
wild.
big.
Especially when you see those big wave surfers that hit the 100-foot wave, or
Ugh,
Yeah,
it's like a
75
speck
foot or
on the side of
100.
that thing.
Yeah, those big waves that are they're out of Portugal, actually, believe it or not. That's where the big, which you think like Pipeline and Sunset Beach in Hawaii. I mean, it's big in the wintertime there, but like Portugal gets insane.
Dude, have you heard the story about how they figured that out? Was like
No.
some guy was just watching them do the big wave surfing, and I think he reached out to one of the surfers or somebody, and he was like, hey, did you guys ever check out Portugal? Like, we have some gigantic waves during the wintertime, and that's what it all stemmed from. And it was like, oh shit, look at these waves.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's a whole surf culture in Portugal that people don't think that that they have, but they do. So question about back to carry the flag again. I saw somewhere, it might have been on Instagram or some social media, you had a shirt that says "No one's coming to save you or save us." Was that?
I don't have a shirt on it. It was just a.
It was like a design
quote. It's going to be a shirt.
Yeah, that was the original name of this podcast. Was nobody's coming. It's up to us. Like, kind of like nobody's going to solve your problems. You need to do it yourself. And that was kind of like the nexus of this podcast. Is we were just talking about, people want to talk about all their mental health issues and act like it doesn't exist and all these things, and that was kind of the original name that I came up with because and Tyler was actually the one that said, like, hey man, that's like a mouthful. Like, maybe we condense that down a little bit.
Right. I mean, dude, think about it. Like, you're born by yourself. How many days, nights do you have these conversations with yourself? You're by yourself. Like, when shit hits the fan, I mean, the only person, you have your family, you have your kids, but It's up to you.
Right. Right.
So when you sit there and you think about it, you're like, damn, man, like nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
Right.
You're there. You have to make the decisions. You have to deal with it. Nobody's going to come, nobody's going to have you hold your hand to go work out. You're going to
Right.
have to do it yourself. You're going to have to go figure shit out. Even in business, as much as I want somebody to come help me or throw me a bone, I've noticed that everybody has their own agenda also, and I don't hold it against them. But it's
Right.
like nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to help you. It's up to you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're the one that looks at yourself in the mirror and goes, "All right, man, like I'm holding you responsible for yourself and the decisions that you make."
Well, I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand with carry the flags kind of,
Yeah.
I don't want to say motto. What's the right word there? Mantra or like,
Motto, mantra, yeah.
yeah, because I mean, like
Which wasn't wrong.
we all, we all have agency, right? I've been really using that word a lot. Agency, the power to decide to act for yourself. And so, like, when that guy was like, hey, who's going to carry the flag? Somebody has to be the one that does, somebody has to say, here I am, send me. Somebody has to be. And I think we're in a day and age, like you were kind of alluding to earlier, is like, remember that Ukrainian girl that got stabbed
Fuck
on
me,
the
dude.
bus and like everybody sat around watching it? Like, that's the times that we live in. And if you would have asked me, would I think that could happen in the South? And that happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, which unbelievable that happened and nobody did anything. I think that's why it's important to have movements like this that people see people standing up and go, hey, we have to, do the September 11th thing. We have to do it the way they did it as a sign of respect. And I think it keeps you grounded too in, you could call it tradition or whatever, but at the end of the day, we all have agency over the decisions we make. You can't sit around and say like, there's no jobs for me to get, or, um, I'm working all this overtime, okay, well, Chris started a business, he's doing, so I don't really know where I'm going with this other than like
No, I mean,
everybody has agency to fix their problems.
yeah. Dude, I say it. You have two choices. Either you do it or you don't.
Right.
If you do it, you never know what's going to happen. But if you don't,
Yeah.
you know what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah. Net zero.
And, yeah. And I mean, too, it's, dude, like just picking that flag up and it's holding it for my kids, setting the example for my kids, setting the example for my family, setting my example for my crew. Like, that's huge because I feel like, and I'm going to kind of get on my soapbox right now, is that we have a bunch of dads in this country that aren't carrying the flag. They say they carry the flag, but they're not carrying the flag for their family because they're more, I'm trying to think of the word, but I see it all the time. There's no discipline in the house. They're not showing the standard of, hey, this is what we do. And being, because I mean that I'm stern with my kids. Like this is what our standard is. This is what we expect in our household. This is what we do. We need more of that. We need more of people just standing up and doing the right thing. Like you said, there's standards. You're doing it for your family, for your crew. I get up and I do my workouts for my crew. So if one of them go down in a fire, I know that I will be able to pull them out.
And you expect the
that you're
same
not a
from them.
liability. Yeah.
Yeah. And so definitely, especially during this time, and that's why it hit me so much with this saying was like, we all fucking need in this country to step it up and get back to where we were and quit this stupid shit. You guys have been overseas. You see how other countries are.
Yeah.
We are so spoiled in this country that we have like there's shit that happens over in other countries that people just don't fucking get.
And they're inviting it here.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
fucking bringing it on wholesale here.
It's
And it's
I mean,
shocking.
dude, you guys are prime. Like, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't.
Yeah.
You go overseas, you know, and I mean, like, women, for example, like in other countries, they are treated horribly.
Yeah. And not just a couple of other countries.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I don't think people get that. And that's where we as people in a society need to stand up and like be in this together and do better. Like, it's just, you just get pissed off when you see some of this shit. It's like, what are we doing now? Like, so like you said, a girl gets stabbed on the subway, and was it a subway or a bus?
No, it was a bus in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Bus.
Yeah.
Nobody does anything. She's
Yeah.
laying there. Okay, the threat's gone, and you still don't help. Like,
Yeah.
what are we?
And you can tie that into that school shooting where the cops hung out in the hallway forever.
Oh
and
my
I was like,
dude. Was that
and-
Uvalde, Texas? Was that the one?
I think so. And like,
I literally watched. I forgot all about that to about maybe like 6 or 7 months ago.
Oh no, that was in South Florida. That was in.
I thought that was Texas. I think it was Uvalde.
Right. It was in Texas.
Oh well, there was the one in Texas where they didn't go in, and then there was one in Florida where the sheriff's deputy waited in the hall in the stairwell and didn't do anything.
Yeah, that was the singular guy. That was
the Marjorie Taylor. No, not Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I remember that one too.
Stone Douglas or whatever school.
Well, I think like the big thing with all of those incidents, right? Because number one, if I'm the one dude around that school, like my sole object is to absorb rounds. So kids aren't absorbing rounds. So if I can get in there and get a couple shots off on this guy or whatever, right? And that's not to play the hero. That's because there's fucking children dying, right?
Yeah.
Like it's your job. And if there's 10 of you dudes in that fucking hallway and your captain is like, hey, not right now, guys. All right, buddy. Fuck you. We can deal with this afterwards. And if I live through this, I'm going to fuck your world up because you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. That was...
I really agree with you, man. It sickens me watching that video of them standing in that hall and you're like...
listening to shots go.
I'm like, what are you doing?
And that one dude's just on the phone. Like, But I think the thing I was trying to make a point on all that is people have outsourced their agency in this country because it's hard, right? And I'm guilty of it sometimes too, right? Like I got bad days, I got slow days, I got days where I don't do the thing I should do. But like, yeah, dude, I mean, that's just a part of life. Like it's never 100%. It's never every day. Sometimes you wake up with 30% in your tank, right? And that 30% goes to the fucking dishes. That 30% goes to getting to fucking work on time. That 30, the last 4%, unfortunately, goes to the family, right?
Yeah.
Which is the fucked up part of the whole thing. But it's the outsourcing of agency. And you saw it with COVID. How quickly people became the Gestapo for their neighbors. And just like calling people out like, oh, well, they're having a gathering. Like, hey, turns out it was all fucking bullshit anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
let's go down this rabbit hole. Let's go.
Oh my God. But I just like, I can't, it's so crazy to me to just watch these people take their decision-making process or critical thinking or their agency for themselves and just hand it over. You're like, hey, CNN, hey, Fox News, hey, whatever pundit, whether it's fucking, I don't know, any congressman, and we're like, well, I am, AOC or whatever the other fucking Republican guys' names are, whatever. And they're just like, fix this for me. I'll be at home waiting until you get the problem solved. I'm like, guess what? None of those motherfuckers are interested in solving your problems because they're getting paid a lot of fucking money to not solve your problems, to keep you in that state of zombified callousness, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I mean, Pfizer, what was it that I hope I don't butcher this, is worth however many probably trillions of dollars now, but have been around for so long and they've never cured one disease.
Right. There's no money in that.
Oh, well,
I think Pfizer is like the leading. Is it Pfizer is the leading like company that's been charged the most criminally in history or something like that? Have you heard of that? Yeah, let me look it up.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
insane.
I think you're exactly right. Is we have, I, y'all just throw it out there. We have weak men.
Yeah.
We have weak
Yeah.
men and we have weak women.
Yep.
Like, where the fuck is the backbone anymore of where, like you said, you have a family. Make a choice for your family. Make your choice for you. Don't just let somebody else make it where it's like, hey, you're a smart person. Use common sense. Like,
Yeah. It's okay to ask questions. Ask the
yeah,
questions.
yeah. And I think that's what like what the brand like is just like, hey, we all need to pick up this fucking flag and carry it like our forefathers freaking created this country for. Like, this is
Yeah.
our country. We have sat back and I'm sorry, we've let politicians get into office longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
And one of them ran for president last time, and I would not vote for him just because he was in office more than I've been alive. And this is the point I bring to people. If there's anybody that would know how, and I'll just say it, Biden, if there's anybody in the world that, or in the United States that would know how to solve the problems, it would be Biden. He's been in office for 47 years.
Right.
Like, he should know how to solve all the issues in the country because he's been in there, I think, second from the longest.
That's fucking
What
crazy.
happened?
Well, there's no interest in it's like we said about Pfizer. There's no interest in solving the problems because it doesn't pay.
Yeah.
Just like the fucking military industrial complex, right? Like, we're not in it to end wars because war is fucking profitable.
Yeah. So here's what here's what Pfizer makes up approximately 3% since the year 2000 of all corporate fines, not the pharmaceutical, like the entire corporations in the United States. And it looks like yeah, so they're about around 3 to 4% of total corporate penalties in recent decades come from the pharmaceutical industry. So if you took all of that 3 to 4% of the total industries, I might have said that backwards originally, but Pfizer makes up a large percentage of that total 3 to 4% number. I mean, there's like a bunch of other companies that have been fined, but it's still a lot.
And I mean,
Still a lot.
through the whole thing with COVID, the reason why I work out and I try to eat really good is because if there's a devastating disease one day, that I will be able to survive it.
Yeah.
Right.
I've
Yeah.
always believed in that. I don't want to take a vaccine. I don't want to take a medication. This is my belief that if God's will was for me to get killed, to die from COVID, then that's the way it was. But I know that deep down, I've worked so hard. I'm working out and eating well that and I did get COVID. I think I've had it 3 times.
Yeah, me too.
And that, I can survive it,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I was at I dropped my wife off at the grocery store and I was like circling the parking lot waiting for her. Like I'd just make the rounds and I just noticed the massive amount of total lard asses that our country has. And I really think it probably is an epidemic. Like the amount, I don't know if it's the food that we eat. I mean, I think it is, but
That's
just
huge part
the
of it.
amount of
It's so-
unhealthy people is super concerning.
and let me also hit on it that I'm pissed because they forced my wife to get a vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, her job looked at her and said, if you don't get this, you're going to be fired. Where's our rights on this? And why isn't there anybody held accountable to this? And you know what? I don't sit here in there was a big thing going through Kansas, and I can't remember what they were voting on. I think it was abortion rights, and hey, should the state have the right over abortions and everything? I'm with you guys. You guys want to get an abortion, whatever. You're going to have to meet your maker one day. I'm not going to force you to do, like, you have your right to make your decision. But everybody was bitching about that, but nobody bitches about
My body, my choice. Yeah.
My body, my choice. Exactly right. Nobody's bitching about, hey, remember when we freaking made people get vaccines? Oh, well, it it was their choice. It's their choice as a business. No, like our president could have stood up and said, hey, we are not going to force anybody to get it. Your body, your choice.
Right.
Goes out the window during COVID, but after it, it's like, oh wait, now we're back to that. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit, man.
And the whole crazy thing that blows my mind with all of that is, initially everybody was on the same page again, right? For a little bit, because we really nobody really knows.
Flatten the curve. Remember that?
Well, even like
2 weeks, guys,
that,
flatten the curve.
Right before that, it's like, hey, we're hearing all sorts of crazy shit. Like, is this really happening? There's no food in the grocery stores. Like, businesses are shutting down. Certain states have already. It was shut down.
No toilet paper.
Yeah, it was fucking. And you're like, okay, because I got to the point where I got off work one day and I was just watching. I wasn't like taking part in anything yet. And I go to the grocery store. I'm like, there's no food in here. Like, is me not taking this seriously enough gonna fuck my family in the end, right? So if everybody's panicking and I'm like, hey guys, give it a minute. You know what I mean? Is now fucking my family over. It's like, God damn it. So I just fucking, I ended up I went and bought a bunch of dry goods and stuff, but I was like, I don't know. But, and I was legit in the beginning, like, man, maybe this is fucked up. Everybody was. And I think even in the government, they were too. Man. Yeah.
I remember leaving the gym one morning and I called my wife and said, hey, I'm picking up a bunch of food because if people are freaking out this much over toilet paper, what are they going to do when they figure out there's not enough food?
And you can't eat toilet paper.
Dude, I was at Target and like everybody in line had toilet paper. And I look at
how
my
much are you going to shit?
I'm like, is a toilet paper company going out of business or something? Like, what the fuck is going wrong? And it's like, then I finally looked it up. I'm like, what? Like, so we're going into a pandemic, epidemic, whatever the hell, and everybody's buying toilet paper? This is what we're worried about?
I don't know how that became the thing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just like somebody puts on Facebook. I totally believe that social media is the downfall of this society, but you give everybody a microphone. There's a lot of dumbasses in the world. And I'm sure somebody's listening to this like, look at these dumbasses saying that everybody else is dumbasses, but
we use it as a tool.
Yeah.
Use it as a tool.
Well, like the thing about COVID that kills me about COVID is whatever side that you're on in COVID doesn't matter. What matters is the amount of rights that were eroded and nobody gave a shit. And when Biden was going out of office, he preemptively pardoned folks before they'd even been charged with a crime. So if that's not like a smoking gun, I don't know what is. But the crazy thing is like you don't pay. Like I just got a real thing today that I owe the IRS $14.25 because I pay my taxes because I'm self-employed, so I pay my taxes at the end, and I pay like a $30 or $50 penalty or whatever. But because I dilly-dallied around, I didn't turn my paperwork into like May. I filed an extension. It was like May by the time the accountant did all the stuff. And so I had like $50-something fine, which normally I would lump into the payment. But for whatever reason, $14.25 got left off. I am accountable and responsible for $14.25, and they're going to get their money, or I'm going to go to jail.
With punishments attached to it.
If I didn't pay that $14.25 in like 10 years, it would be a massive fine, right? But you're telling me that there was whatever kind of collusion and misleading of information on both sides, and nobody has to be held accountable for it? Like, this is where... And this goes back to what you're saying about carry the flag and no one's coming to save us, is like, you have to be available to, if you can't lead your family, if you can't lead your little, in your community, then who is going to do that? You don't lead, like you said, you don't step up and lead your family as a dad and a husband. Then somebody else is going to do it for you. And that might be some dude on social media, some wackadoo, and I say all that to say is that should be concerning to people that to, you know,
Huge.
4 years ago you lost your rights and it was okay because you agreed with it. But what happens in 4 years when they come for you on something that somebody else, you know, like that's why it's so important. People are always asking me, like, don't you think there should be a bill to ban burning the American flag? No, no, man, burn that thing to the ground. I don't support that. I think it's horrible, but I would never want to restrict somebody's freedom of speech. And if you want to protest the flag, go ahead, dude. There might be consequences if
Right.
if you
Don't
get
get
in
upset
a
if somebody
fight with
doesn't like it.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get it, you know. But like, I don't think we should ever, you know, uh, like in England, like you can post stuff. You ever seen these people in the UK that go to prison because of what they put on Facebook? Have you seen
yeah.
that?
I
Like,
haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
dude, it's insane. Like there was a video of a guy who's like having an argument, and the one guy says something to the effect like, I'm gonna butcher what he said, but he called him like a name, like retard or something, and that guy got arrested for calling somebody a name because it's hate speech, you know? And I was like, oh, okay. Like you guys suck, you know? Like,
And dude, and that's, you know, and I've dabbled around with, where carry the flag needs to be, but I think you just hit it like on the head is we all need to get back to where this country started and before all this corruption started. Like, because we all can agree that it's corrupt on both sides.
Yeah.
I'm not
There's no
leaning
side that I
one way.
hang my hat on.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's corruption everywhere. There's corruption in every small city. We all need to stand up together and be like, hey, we're fucking done with this shit. Because you guys are doing this shit on purpose. Like, you're creating this division on purpose. Like, our country's never been so divided.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a news cycle if you didn't divide everybody. There wouldn't be anything, you know, we talk about it all the time on here. Have you ever heard of Dunbar's number? Have you ever heard of that?
Which one? Sorry.
Dunbar's number. It's like this guy who was a sociologist like theorized that the maximum amount of people that a human can like interact with and remember and have a relationship with is 150. And so we were never designed to take this much input from when I hear about a school shooting in New Mexico and something happened in the UK or Uganda, some tragedy, like our brains can't, like we're meant to live in small communities. And when you're, now
I
that,
have heard of something like
yeah,
this. Yeah.
so it's a real thing. Like, and I always say, just keep your circle small and just, feel bad about the things that you can feel bad for. It's, school shootings and so are terrible, but like, you can't dwell on it if it's not, like you weren't designed for that is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, and I remember COVID. I was at the station that day and the chief came by and like dropped all this N95 masks and stuff off to us. And we're like, hey, all right, hold on. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, is this like the movie Outbreak? Like, we're going to freaking like breathe this in and like shit's hitting the fan. Like, what are we talking,
We would get our groceries delivered and my wife would make me undo all the groceries in the garage and Lysol every single one before we brought it in the house. That lasted about a week, and they were.
Yeah, I know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. If I'm getting,
I'll take my chances.
We didn't do that. We were just getting margaritas delivered. We're like, this is fucking great.
Well, that was the other thing is like
go to the store, nobody was there. You were like,
yeah,
awesome.
We had a thing called Beer Island in my neighborhood. There's like a little cul-de-sac, and we would like every night we would all get out there and drink, and like we would sit 6 feet apart in a big circle.
Yeah, because you didn't know. You're like, fuck, man, I don't know. Like,
the kids were out of school. We were just getting schnockered every night.
And honestly, if people had come out and were like, hey, yeah, we fucked that up. We made up the 6 foot thing. We made up the social distancing thing. We made up all these things because we didn't know, right? And initially we thought maybe that was a real thing. But if at some point somebody just acknowledged any of it, Like, yeah, I fucked that up. Like, oh, okay, that's a start. But I think like with your, with the carry the flag and other similar communities and all these things, if you can get enough people to do that, then you get the momentum to be able to start to hold people accountable, right?
Yeah.
But as long as we're continuing to divide and fight, dude, and I look at like the political sort, there's the far left and the far right. So everyone like draws it as this perfect little line. Dude, it's a fucking circle, right? Like
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
it's not that these people are so far apart. It's like they're so fucking similar. Like, have you ever met people who are exactly the same but hate each other? Like,
Yeah.
there's somebody who's like, oh, I can't stand that person. I'm like, you guys are the same human. Like, oh, well, he's a fucking asshole. I'm like, but you're a fucking asshole, like about the same shit. And you don't get along. Like, that's the far
Well,
right and the far left. And they come
that's what they
together
always
at the
say.
top of that circle. And it just goes around in a loop.
Left wing, right wing, same bird. you
Yeah,
know.
dude.
But again, 2025, and we still have Republican, Democrat.
Yeah.
There isn't one more that, and I know there's parties that tried, but it's like, how is it that we can't fucking just meet in the middle? Like, it's just like,
There's no
how
money
are we-
there.
Well,
know?
I mean, a population that's always angry and always gnashing the teeth at each other, all the stuff that's happening over here, you don't see it because you're worried about the stupid, trivial stuff. That we have more that we agree on and that we see eye to eye on than there are differences.
Oh, of course.
And
I'd love to not have to pay for healthcare.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That ain't happening.
Yeah, right. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, fucking figure it out.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Well, and you hear all these people like, Canada's healthcare system is so great. But is it though? Because you end up waiting to see. I think people. This goes back to the agency thing. Is the grass is always greener, man.
right.
And you have agency to to fix your problems. You might not like what you have to do to get there. Like people always say, there's no work. Like I'm from Wilmington, and people are like, there's no work in this town. Yeah, move. That's why I left in 1995 and
Right.
never went back. I love it. I would love to move home and live there, but there's no industry there. Unless you want to work in tourism or somebody, there's generally not a lot to do there. So leave. Go somewhere where there is work.
Yeah, Wilmington is a very small city.
Yeah.
How would you say that? A big town.
Yeah,
There's,
it's
ultimately
100
get there, you're like, Jesus, man, like there's only one target. Like that's what threw my wife off. She's like, she's a target person. There's only one target. So you judge how big the place is when you're like, Jesus, man, in Kansas City, there's freaking 4 targets within,
Right.
10 miles of each other. So
yeah.
and I think, I don't know how political I want to go with the brand, and I've dabbled with what I wanted to do with it, because the ultimate thing about it is our country was built on this foundation of taking care of each other, and it's like you said, it's not left or right, like it's just fucking being a good person, and like, hey, how do we get back to the values that we had? Like,
Right.
how do we get this bullshit out of us to where, like you said, we have these corrupt politicians that's been in there for so long that you're like, how in the hell have we let this happen?
Right.
Like, in all this crap where you're like, how are we not together? And like, we're the greatest country. We have so much technology that we should just be so past this, and we're still just on this crap.
If we could just find that one jumping off point, right? Like the one thing that we all agree on that really moves people forward, whether, healthcare is an example, right? Or something similar to where it's like, hey, you over there, you agree with this. You over there, you agree with this. Like shit, like taking money out of politics, right? Or doing term limits or something. Like, what is the one thing that let's find, instead of figuring out what it is I fucking hate about you and what you hate about me, instead of just like looking at that, like, let's find that one small thing that we can all agree on, and let's make that fucking change.
And I guarantee we all do. Nancy Pelosi, how much is she supposed to make a year? $200,000 is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, she's worth how many millions? Like, I don't care if you're left or right. Everybody probably looks at that and been like, all right, that's some bullshit. I don't care if you're freaking Republican or Democrat. Like, that's some bullshit. How in the hell, like, Bernie Sanders never had a fucking job. Now all of a sudden he's worth how many millions?
Yeah.
Like
Several $1 million mansions. And like, dude, my idea, my fix to that, which would be fucking great, is whatever place got you elected, right? Your income is the median income of that area. Yeah. So if everybody in your area, like let's take Vermont, for example, motherfuckers up there don't got a lot of money. And if you have a house and you're from an out of state, you got money. But if you were kind of born and raised there and just kicking around working gas station life or plowing roads or something, like you don't have a lot of money. Guess what? Your elected official makes $48,000 a year. And if that elected official doesn't fucking like it, bring some growth to your community.
Yeah. Have you seen that app that these guys made that tracks politicians' stock trades and what Nancy Pelosi did? It's called I think it's called Autopilot. They and then like they have more than Nancy Pelosi, but I guess people have been doing it and actually making money whenever she trades, they all copy the trade and they, they're doing well. So
dude, they knew COVID was coming.
Yeah.
And they dumped stocks and picked up stocks. And like, again, left or right, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, we all can agree that was bullshit. Like, none of us freaking had that opportunity.
Right.
Hell no. No, it's illegal. We'd go to jail for that opportunity.
Yeah, no shit. We would. And man, that's I hope that, that the brand can kind of bring light to this, of where it's like, hey, let's come together. Like, we're the greatest nation known, but like we just get controlled by these petty shit that and I'm sorry, they know what they're doing. I mean, they're psychologically, they know what triggers people. I mean, you can see it, man. Like, how well did COVID work to where everybody hated each other so bad? You didn't wear a mask in your car and that person hates you. You're like, right. I'm in my car. Like, like we go to restaurants and you wear your mask, but when you get to the table, you can take the mask off and you're like,
we got my daughter convinced that there was a COVID layer. So whenever we get up, if she had to go to the bathroom, she's like, oh, I got to put on my mask because I'm in the COVID layer now. It's just well, how does that doesn't make fucking sense.
Let's see. It must have been the end of, I can't remember if it was 21. It was maybe the mid to late summer of 21 in Florida. Like Florida was back to normal by June of 2020. Like we had probably 6 weeks of like shutdowns, maybe 3 weeks of, I remember like we would go to a restaurant and they would like skip a table and put like a little plexiglass up. But I remember I had to go work in Canada and I flew into Toronto in a helicopter. We flew across into Toronto, and believe it or not, air crew was exempt from COVID vaccinations, international air crews. So nobody in my crew had the vaccine. So we went to Canada and the Canadians were flipping out that we weren't vaccinated. And we were like, no, look, here's the international law. It says we don't have to be. We had to go through customs. We were in there about 4 hours and we were wearing a mask and we were up there filming a movie and no big deal. They could not believe that we weren't vaccinated, a year and a half later. And the funny thing is, later after we did the movie, we had to get tested every day on the movie set.
Jesus.
And we were like the redheaded stepchildren. But the crazy thing is, we go out to this restaurant. We have to wear a mask through, just like you said, when we sit down, you can take the mask off at your table. So I got up to go to the bathroom and I didn't put my mask on. And like somebody jumped out from like the woodwork. I'm like, oh, you got to put your mask on. I'm like, but I was just stuffing my face with chicken wings, like 3 feet away from you magically. Like, do you hear the words coming out of your mouth? They're like, no, it's just amazing.
And that's the outsourcing I was talking about. It's like someone was just like, I need to wear a mask if I'm standing up. If I'm sitting down, I don't need to wear a mask. Like, okay, the difference is fucking 6 inches, right? And you haven't taken the time to like think about that. And then you accepted that as the gospel, and now you're fucking calling the cops on people who are, not cooperating in the COVID layer.
Yeah.
It's insane. And how many people just fucking bit that hard and just
Dude,
didn't take a second to think about it. One
Yeah.
second.
I mean, I remember my dad and I would go up to Canada and do a fishing trip, and we couldn't because we weren't vaccinated.
Yep.
And the guys up there said that they had to get vaccinated. They had to stay at the fishing resort for, I can't remember how long, and they could not leave
Like 2 weeks or something, probably.
cabin there, and they were being tracked on their phone.
Yeah.
Leave, like, you can't go fishing, you can't leave that cabin, or they'll get arrested. And I'm like, Jesus criminy, man. Like,
Yeah.
When I was out flying wildfires in 21, I was out in California, and a guy in our crew got COVID. And it's kind of it's a crazy story because he came on the crew like he flew on the airplane sicker than shit. And this is the point where everybody's like, if you're sick, stay home. But he needed the money. He had to work. So he shows up and he's sick, and we're like, and we would ride around in a truck. There's 6 of us that would fit in like an F-350. And we're all riding with this guy, and he's sick as shit. And so our crew boss is like, hey man, like you should probably get tested for COVID. And sure as shit, he was positive. And the forestry service guys quarantine our whole crew, like the mechanics and pilot. The crazy thing was 2 of the mechanics were like, no, I've been vaccinated. And they were like, okay, you guys got your vaccine card? They're like, it got shredded in the wash machine. Like, I don't have it on me, but I'm vaccinated. They were like, okay, you guys are cool. So they got to come to work every day. The rest of us had to sit in a hotel room in California we were normally on a 12-day cycle. So we ended up sitting in a hotel room for 10 days. I was getting paid regardless. I mean, I lost money because when we're flying on a fire, you make more money. But the crazy thing is, like, they made us, the county in California made us quarantine in the hotel room, but in the forestry service, but they wouldn't. They said they couldn't enforce it, but they highly recommended it. But they also didn't provide a way for you to eat. So, like, what are you going to do? You got to eat. So, like, we'd like walk to the convenience store, but they had the manager of the hotel was supposed to keep tabs if we came out of our rooms,
If that's not a Gestapo state, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, we could talk about this all day.
We went on a ski trip, and you were supposed to have your mask on the slope. And
Yeah.
once we were waiting in line to get up on the gondola, or the lift, and I got yelled at by a ski patrol because I had my mask down. And it's like,
yeah, dude, we're outside,
really?
bro.
Like, really?
Yeah.
There's people who panic on trails. You know what I mean? You see those people, and you're walking, you don't have your mask on, and they're like, oh, and then they like slowly go by you.
If you're that scared of it, then why are you out here? Like,
See, those are the people like in 1800s would have just died on the Oregon Trail. Like, those are the ones that, like, social Darwinism would just take them out. Like a saber-toothed tiger would jump out from behind a bush and just eat them, because they were like making a lot of noise.
I think that's how we kind of got here, right? Because we've built these systems, and we've done fantastic with, the firefighters and the first responders and the EMTs and all these people who have come so far in protecting everybody, right? And there's a lot of people who don't give back or don't put in the work or don't have, and not everybody is born knowing that they can be as big and as great as they want to be, right? Because they've been told a different story by their parents or whoever it was that raised them in such a horrible fashion that, to get that out of your head takes a lot of fucking work. But where was I going? Yeah. So we just have luckily been able to build this system that protects so many people without them ever having to give back. Right. And so they eventually, what was, I need help, turned into I'm entitled to. Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like they say, it's like what hard times make hard men, soft times make weak men, or what
Yeah.
Yeah. Weak men make hard times.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you like look at that saying and you're like, oh shit, man, like we're
Well-
a soft country right now, and hard times are about to fucking come because we better be able to step it up because these other countries are not I don't know. You think we're friends with China and all this shit, but World War II really wasn't that long ago. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what's on Carry the Flag's website. I mean, it says freedom isn't free. It's earned through hard work, sacrifice, blood, and sweat. And I think that's encompassing of what everything we're talking about here is. And it's kind of cool to see a brand that is making things that are universal and unapologetic in what they're doing, but it has meaning on multiple levels. It's not like just like a patriotic thing. It's you know, you need to do hard work, sacrifice, and earn it at every level of your life, whether that's in your family, with your friends, in your community, and as a fireman, as a cop, as a military, as an office worker, whatever. Just be a good human.
military, first responder, blue collar workers, man. Like
Yeah.
we're all in this together. Like,
Yeah. What's next for Carry the Flag? What do you guys got anything going on, or
So on Friday, I'm heading to Oklahoma City. We're going to the firefighter challenge. It's that combat challenge where they race each other.
is that the one where they go up the tower and stuff, and they're super fast and they push the
I
thing?
haven't ever seen it, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Are you competing or are you watching?
No, I'm just watching.
Yeah.
Man, I've got so much stuff going on anymore that it's just like
Right.
it's hard to like dedicate the time to compete, to be competitive against these guys. They're guys and gals are freaking killing it.
Yeah.
Really after that, I mean, it's more of just trying to continue to grow the name and get the name out there. I don't have anything on the books, but it's just kind of like sporadically, like all of a sudden my month will fill up.
Yeah.
But it's just constantly just trying to get the message out.
Are you doing like events? So for getting the message out, what kind of things are you doing for that outside of coming on podcasts and?
Yeah. So I've done the charity events. So we had Hero Salute Project that we had, which was a concert for military and first responders. We did a celebrity pickleball tournament, which was pretty cool. We had some Kansas City Chiefs players out there that
nice.
Ended up one of the Chiefs players, Mike Pinnell, bought one of the shirts and then was wearing it the whole day. It was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like the league's worst team, but whatever. I'm a Bills fan. I'm still salty about all that.
Who's your team?
Bills, dude. Buffalo Bills.
Oh, man.
And I'm not from Buffalo. My wife is, but this is our year.
I like Josh. I don't know. I watched the Lions Ravens game last night. Both those teams look.
Yeah, the Ravens look good, but Buffalo beat them by 1 point. But Josh Allen's a class act, man.
I like Josh Allen. If you have any connections, get Josh Allen, wear some Carry the Flag stuff. Let's go.
Yeah. I wish I'd get him to wear Alone and Unafraid.
We did that. The golf tournament with First Responder Golf Foundation. That was a cool one to do. And really, I see this winter time, I'm going to just go around and do some pop-up shops at some CrossFit gyms. I want to do a Carry the Flag run.
Yep.
Probably at the beginning of next year, maybe like probably like April, May-ish when it starts warming up here. And I'd like to see kind of, just a bunch of American flags going.
Yeah.
But next year, man, I don't know. I've got some collaborations coming up that could be really cool. We just finished up this one with Be Bad Fitness. He's actually an Army Ranger. And John,
I think I know who that is.
Yeah, he does some cool stuff. And that was a really cool collaboration. The shirt was badass. And I've got some more in the works. I'm hoping that they pan out. One of them with he's a T-Rex. He's the world's strongest man. One of my followers runs his social media, and he was like, I just sent him some stuff the other day. I was like, dude, let's do something.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll pan out. And then maybe with some other ones. I can't really talk about it right now because I don't know if it's going to pan out.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's cool too.
Well,
But
I think, for everybody, we're recording this in late September. The holidays are coming up. Christmas is coming up. If you know somebody that likes the things that we've been talking about, go to carrytheflagusa.com and check out. You can just hit shop all, check out the products. I'm sure. I don't know if you saw this one, Tyler, Caffeine and Freedom. That's like right up your alley.
I like both of those.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get my wife one of these crop top hard work shirts. Because Tyler and I, his wife, they both like to exercise and work out. So that would be a cool shirt. But a lot of gift ideas. You can go over there, check them out. It's carrytheflagusa.com. If you want to support a badass American firefighter, support Chris, go out there and buy his stuff because it looks kind of cool too. It's like, dude, you might as well look cool when you're spending money.
Yeah. Yep. I do all the design work myself, the printing, everything is done by me. Stop by and grab a free sticker. If somebody wants a free sticker, we give them out.
Is that the join the dirty crew? Is that what's the join the dirty crew? Because I'm on the website and it says fill out the sections below to receive benefits of riding with the dirty crew. Is that like my
older brand? That's kind of weird that it's on the website.
Oh yeah. Okay, then disregard that. Don't listen to anything I just said.
So so that was the brand that I ran before that. And, the funny thing is everybody always doesn't like AI, but I actually took my old website and I had AI copy it from the other website because I like the design so much that that one I'm like, well, that's kind of confusing. But but it was a mountain bike brand that I ran here in Kansas City, and it was hard to run because I was always traveling out to either Colorado or Bentonville to do events.
Right.
And when this
Bentonville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Home of Walmart.
They have amazing bike riding down there. Mountain bike. It's supposed to be the Mecca, and it's actually really good.
But I've heard that Arkansas is a beautiful state. I've never been there, but
it really is, especially right there, man. It's booming. But I mean, that's the brand that I pivoted from in January, and I was like, this hit home, and I was like, this is what I want to do. But yeah, definitely grab a free sticker. I send them out. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign. You don't have to, I don't know, be an ambassador or anything. We just send out the stickers, put them on a water bottle, your computer, your phone. I got a lot of guys under their helmets, their fire helmets, some military guys that have them in their helmets, and it's pretty badass.
That's awesome, dude.
Put some on some stop signs and stuff.
Yeah.
Here in Cocoa Beach, like every single stop sign has some type of band or surf sticker or something. How about social media? Where can they find you on social media?
Carry the Flag USA. I'm on there quite a bit. I'm thinking about maybe also doing TikTok. Don't know. There's a lot more bots and stuff on TikTok than Instagram. Instagram seems to filter that out a lot more.
But you should connect with Justin at Dark Horse Athlete and see if there's something.
Yeah, Justin would be good. We should get you with Justin because I feel like he would. His brand is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Dark Horse. Yeah, dude, send me that and send me the what was it, Behind the Badge?
Oh, Behind the Shield, James Gehring. Yeah, he's actually a British dude, English guy, but he's been living in the U.S. for forever. But yeah, we can. I think you'll get a kick out of him and his stuff. But yeah, so why don't we? So we'll do all that. Go to carrytheflag.com and check them out on Instagram. Carry the Flag. Sorry, it's carrytheflagusa.com. And then Instagram, Carry the Flag USA, and we'll link the snippets of this episode to your Tyler knows how to do it, whatever.
Yeah.
What is it you do?
I just do the thing on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Make you a collaborator.
Some
Like,
kind of
just
thing.
give
I
you a
don't
little
know.
bit of stuff to fill up your stuff with.
I'm like one step away from wearing those white New Balances and jorts. Like, so,
I'm trying to figure out how to get there as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I finally
Yeah.
peaked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
invite people over for a barbecue and you're just making cheeseburgers and hot dogs, but they're Bubba burgers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you for a barbecue? Like,
yeah.
Here's your burger, bud.
Dude, I mean, as much as I dislike social media and things like that, it is actually a really cool thing if it's used correctly. And
yeah, absolutely.
Connect. I mean, that's how we connected and stuff, and it is great for things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's how people receive information nowadays.
There's another dude I met here through Fitness Society, and he, if I'm not mistaken, walked the American flag across the country.
That's awesome.
And so
I have plans to do that.
And he's got like a recovery center here, so it's like ice baths and saunas and stuff too. So he's kind of connected in that realm. But yeah, he did it on the same, what do they call the flagpole or whatever, but it's all beat up and fucked up, and he had to like fix it with a broom or something, just duct tape all over the flagpole. And he takes it out running every Monday for the run club around here.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, have you seen that video of that kid in a cross country meet where he's got the flag on it? It's like a little kid. He's got the flag on his shoulder, and everybody takes off running. And that kid waits like 30 seconds or a minute and a half. I don't know. He waited a long time before he started running, and then he ends up winning the race because he just lapped them all. Anyways,
I did see that one.
Yeah, but
definitely have plans of doing some stuff, but need some funding before.
Yeah,
that's the crux of everything.
Yeah, you should do like a 5K or something, or like 10, those kinds of things, and pick a. I'm sure there's benevolent associations and stuff that would benefit from that.
I wanted to try to do that at the beginning of October, but it just got so busy that I didn't have enough time to get everything together. And then I'm like, all right, well, I was kind of stressing out about it a little bit. And I was like, you know what, let me just put it off to spring, kind of take some more time, build some more stuff up, get some more connections here closer so that we can, do good when we do launch it.
Yeah.
Having a good foundation is key to like the stepping off.
Yeah. And it's gonna be cool. We got some stuff going on. Definitely will constantly pushing new things and new ideas and new places to get into. So hopefully we can start getting into some shooting ranges, some CrossFit gyms, and it's just about getting people to answer the phone.
Yeah, I hear that.
Been ghosted a lot lately. I'm like, hey, come on. I thought we were tight. You said you were in, and then like ghost.
Like, don't tell me that you're in if you're not in. Like, I'm fine with you being not in, right? Like, set my expectations right now. I don't have to chase you around for 6 months to figure out that you're not in it.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me straight up. We're both grown-ups.
I mean, dude, the longer I do it, it's just business, It's like,
people have a hard time saying no, like setting boundaries. I think that's a underdeveloped skill nowadays. So
I think one of them that just stings more is they were so amped for it, and like it was like this is on, like we're doing it, and then it's like ghost.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell, man? Like I thought we were good. Like
fuck.
Yeah, but it's all good. It like I don't expect it until the bill's paid. That's when you're like, all right, we're in. Like this is happening. So hopefully one of the other big collaborations, something will go through. So I'm gonna text him tomorrow and see if we can get it going. So
Well, awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with us, and we got a little bit of housekeeping to do for the show. If you guys haven't already been, check out our YouTube. We're Alone and Unafraid podcast. Bro. So this will be out on YouTube.
8 subscribers. We more than doubled our following
Yeah.
from the last episode.
Yeah, we're big. We're
balling.
So if you're new to the podcast, we were holdouts on video where we were just trying to, we were audio only. And we finally made the jump. You can listen to all the podcast episodes on YouTube, but episode 52 was the first one that's full video on YouTube, and then this will be episode 53, and that'll be the full video up on YouTube. So you can check it out. Alone and Unafraid podcasts. Subscribe.
Is
and
it Alone and Unafraid podcast?
Yep. It's got like a little skeleton guy.
See right there, everybody. And then
there you go.
Subscribe button. Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Every little bit. And
every little bit, man.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcast, please take a moment to rate the show and write a written review. It can be like 2 words, like best ever. It's probably what I would go with. But check us out on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, you can rate us on there. We've got the usual suspects that always tune in at every episode. But if you're a new subscriber, holler at us, send us an email, info@aloneandunafraid.org. Hit us up on Instagram at, what is it, Tyler _?
Alone and Unafraid.
Yeah, you'll find it. It's a little skeleton guy on there. And we are on TikTok, although I usually just post whatever gets posted on Instagram gets moved to TikTok. Not a lot of interaction because most of our audience isn't on TikTok. And you can find us on LinkedIn as well at Alone and Unafraid on LinkedIn. So, yeah.
Like I tell everybody, just a simple follow, a simple like, it goes a long ways.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're
Carry
so
the flag
to a share.
The what?
I said, and if you're so inclined, a share is great.
Yeah, sharing it with somebody, especially a lot of the folks that are listening to this are law enforcement, first responders, or know somebody in their family that is. Tune them on to carrytheflagusa.com and Carry the Flag USA on Instagram. Go buy a shirt. Like, support your bros.
Do it.
Do it.
It's pretty slick. I'm going to get one later.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thanks for hanging out with us, man. You got any closing remarks?
No, I always want to take the time to thank everybody, especially if they're tuning in to watch this. We can't do it without the fans. We can't do it without customers. Guys, I thank everybody so much for all the support. And if you've made it this far in the episode, I can't thank you guys enough because none of us can do any of this without them. So,
we have hardcore listeners that will listen like 2 hours straight. There's some people do on their commute.
100, I would say.
Some do like just burn through it. So
yeah,
Tyler,
thank everybody for it because we've got nothing without them.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that was way better than what I was going to say.
And it's always good to have another conversation. Somebody new.
Yeah. Tyler, what do you got anything before we get out of here?
Nah, dude. Well, I mean, dude, buy some coffee too. So you're going to need to go over to his website, pick up the Caffeine and Freedom shirt, and then come to my house and buy a bag of coffee.
Yeah. Polestarcoffee.com.
Maybe we'll do a bundle where we sell your shirt and a bag of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not to put you on the spot. You can tell me to fuck right off. No big deal.
Dude, whatever I can do to help anybody.
Man.
Let's do it.
Vice versa. I'm game.
Well, thank you guys. And hey, if you're here, grab a sticker. I'll send them out there for you for free. So let's do it. Awesome. Hey, man, thanks for hanging out with us. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see everybody next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.